Hi, we come to the part 2 of the assessment and evaluation. This part is about preparing the assignment and scoring rubrics. Let us first deal with the assignment. An assignment is a specifically designed teaching and learning activities, which is also an assessment that contributes to final marks or grade of a course. As a part of the teaching and learning activities, it should be properly designed in line with the course outcome, both from the perspective of the teaching and learning and also in the assessment. Normally, the assignment is carried out within the semester, and therefore you should conduct the assignment as a mode of the formative assessment. The meaning of formative assessment is that the ultimate purpose of having the assessment is for performance improvement. Therefore, the entire process of conducting assignment will require regular monitoring and supervisions. And as the assignment is being submitted, feedback should be given to the students. Make known to the students the mistakes as well as rooms for improvements. The assignment should be designed relevant to the syllabus and to attain the course outcome. The purpose of conducting the assignment is to facilitate learning. The assignment can be conducted in two major modes. One is the group assignment, another one it will be individual assignment. If the assignment is conducted in a group, the typical size of the group it will be 3 to 5 persons. Normally, we do not recommend the group size greater than 5 persons. As far as I know, EAC has a requirement that not having the group size greater than 5 persons. Now, when group assignments is involved, the components in the assignment shall include the technical knowledge or skills, teamwork, and also presentation. The teamwork is due to you have more than one person in the group. As for the individual assignment, we can have technical knowledge or skills with or without the presentations. Now, what are the components to be incorporated within the assignment? It will be very much dependent on the lecturers. What are the course outcome? What are the emphasis of the course? How lecturer design the assignment, and how it will best help the students to learn from the assignment. These are some examples of the assignments. It can be in the mode of assignment report, essay, survey study, field study, investigations, or lab works. Now let us talk about the considerations while creating an assignment. First, you will need to check the CO and the PO mapping. You know that the CO and PO are constructed to be well aligned. When you want to design the assignment, definitely you will need to meet the COs. That is the bare minimum at the course level, which at the same time, you might want to check also for the POs. Consider how would your assignment contribute to the attainment of the program outcome, which is at the program level. You know that the course that you are teaching shouldn't be standing alone. It is going to be a part of a program. Therefore, your assignment should also be designed to be compatible to the needs of the program. Next, you can make it interesting and challenging. Use the appropriate levels of thinking orders, and you have to consider the engineering components for engineering programs. This includes the knowledge and attitude profile, complex engineering problem solving, as well as complex engineering activities. Assignment is quite important in the course. You will see that nearly all the university will have assignments given to the students as a part of the teaching and learning activity as well as the assessment. Why is it so? This is because assignment can encourage the participations of the students, taking more responsibility in the teaching and learning activities. Instead of having lectures one way, assignment can stimulate the students to take initiative with certain specifically designed tasks given to the students. They learn along the process. Normally, the students are given certain period of time to complete the assignment. Because of the time allocated to the students, the assignments can go for higher thinking orders, and the students can also be exposed to really complex problems. Students are given opportunity to deal with the problems, make the complicated things simplified, and then work out the solutions. Another thing, the transferable skills is part and parcel of a program. These skills are quite difficult being delivered through lectures. Therefore, we can actually design the assignment in order to trigger and stimulate the students with the relevant skills. This is achievable through assignment. Next, appropriate description should be given in the assignment. We will need to make clear to the students what is it about the assignment. We will need to provide accurate titles and comprehensive synopsis so that students know what are the focus, concepts and principles that they need to learn through the assignments. The instructions should be clear and the task should be properly articulated so that students have an idea how to carry out the assignment. The main focus here is we use the assignments to facilitate learning. Sometimes lecturer has a misconception, purposely design some assignments to be quite difficult, not giving clear information to the students, and yet expect the students to come up with really good assignment. We have to go back to the fundamentals of education. Since assignment is a part of it, we are facilitating the learning process of the students. Therefore, the instructions must be made clear to the students. We use the assignments as a tool for the students to participate in the learning process. Next, you might need to check the feasibility of the assignment. First, the time allocated should be adequate, and also the workload should be reasonable. There is no standard rules that how much time should be given for an assignment. This is very much dependent on the amount of the work as well as the content to be incorporated within the assignment. Personally, I will make sure that the time given are always more than enough. In return, I will expect for quality works. Of course, the working load should be quite well justified based on the student learning time. It shouldn't be too simple that the students can complete everything within probably 1 to 2 hours. This defeats the purpose of having the assignment, especially when you do not use the assignments towards its greatest advantage, such as dealing with the transferable skills, as well as complex problems, and also self-directed learning. Therefore, the assignment should be somewhat challenging, but you will need to have some ideas about the workload. It must be reasonable. Let's say now for a group assignment, you have to design the workload to be manageable by 3 to 5 persons. And for the assignments, normally you design the relevant scopes. You know which topic is going to be covered. Then you can have a clear estimations in terms of the total SLT that you anticipate the students going to spend for this entire course. Exclude those lectures, tutorials, and preparations for the tests and examinations. There shall be SLT for the assignment. Now the assignment workload shouldn't be ridiculously high that makes the total SLT of that particular course not justifiable. Next is about checking the validity of the assessment. We are referring to the right focus and emphasis of the assessment. The assessment should be in line with the CO, and it should contribute to the PO as well. It shouldn't be out of the topic. It should be really relevant to that particular course. Paying emphasis and focus on really essential things, while the others serve as supporting parts to complement the quality of the assignment. There should be consistency and objectivity of the assessment. You need to be fair to the students. Normally, assignments are assessed in the mode of slightly subjective, but there are ways to make the assessment and the grading to be objective, which is through the rubrics. And there should be consistent requirements, which is applicable across the board for all the students. Next is about the marks given. It should worth the effort and also the significance. Do not end up to be students spending so much effort and yet in return only a little marks are given. This is not quite fair to the student. Or when you assign the mark, a majority of the marks should go for the emphasis and those which is significant, instead of those irrelevant or not quite important. Next considerations is about the transparency in expectations. You will need to clearly state the expectations and the requirements for the assignment. Make known to the students the standards of the assignment output, what makes a good assignment, and so on so far. Normally, by the time that we give the assignment, there will be briefing. Make known to the students what they need to do, make it clear, and also make known to the students the expectations and the requirement. This shall also be made clear to the student. And if possible, we will need to provide the assessment criteria of the rubrics. Not only just providing those, you will need to educate the students how to use those rubrics so that they know clearly what are their expectations and they can actually put effort into meeting those requirements. The requirements should be quite clear-cut and explicit so that students will know when they have fulfilled the requirements. Next, you need to consider the learning process as well, especially when you are designing the assignment. Be mindful the steps and procedures that students have to go through in order to complete your assignment. You will also need to always check yourself that how you intend the learnings to be from your perspective, and check it against the actual learning process, getting feedback from the students regarding their learning experience. See if what you anticipated is in line to what is actually happening. This is very important because when you design the assignments, normally there is a purpose, and those purpose shall be attained if the student's learning experience is exactly the same as what you intend it to be. If it is not, your intention now will end up to be pure assumption, which may not reflect the actual situation. And in this case, whichever assessment outcome may not fully reflect the actual situations, and this may lead to wrong decisions when it comes to the evaluations of the course as well as the program. And when you design those, not only you need to know the experience of learning, you need to simulate also how the knowledge are built through the learning process of the assignment. If required, you need to provide some guidance to the students so that the knowledge and skills can be built in logical sequence. These are the extra efforts that needs to be carried out by the lecturer in order to make the assignment successful. What we see here, doing assignment is not simply giving instruction and that's it, and you expect the students will do the rest. If it is not properly designed, not adequately monitored, not regularly reviewed, not being properly fine-tuned, it might not end up to be what you intend it to be. And then the quality of teaching and learning may not meet your intended level. Think about it. A good assignment should come with a really good design. And always, you use the assignment as a tool to help the students learning the concept and principles delivered in the course, so that they can meet the learning outcome.